flags are signals that warn us not to enter a relationship or that it's time to get out of one. They're perceptible and usually pretty obvious, but often ignored. My goal for this video is to help you become a better detective. That way you don't end up trapped in a dead-end relationship. I'm Coach Tatoya, and this is Blossom in Love. I received a direct message question a little while ago, and this young lady asked what I thought was a great question. She said, Tatoya, how do I know if I'm investing in a promising relationship or just wasting time? And this is a question that I think we can probably all relate to. But to be frank, if you're having to ask this kind of a question, then perhaps you're already seeing signs that this relationship or this person is not the right fit for you. Many of us talk ourselves into relationships, and we trick ourselves into staying with people because we're hopeful and because we want to believe that things are not as bad as they seem. But if you're having to convince yourself that things are going to change or that they're going to get better, you're already trapped. Universal red flags apply to everyone. That means that these should be no-nos on everyone's list. In addition to common red flags, we should all identify our own personal deal breakers and traps. Reflecting on what went wrong in your previous relationships will help you create this list. Because we've all had different romantic experiences, your list might look completely different from someone else's. The first step is familiarizing yourself with common red flags and traps. Just to give you a few examples, if you notice violent or aggressive behavior, or that they're always blaming other people for their life circumstances and they have difficulty holding themselves accountable. Another common one is not keeping promises or agreements. If they say they're going to call you back and they never call you back, or you all set plans and they keep canceling them. Regardless of the circumstances, these are all common red flags that we should take notice of. Now, it takes time and practice to get good at catching red flags. So if you've missed one or two, don't beat yourself up. I encourage you to make a lesson list. That's a great exercise to help you with this. Now you want to identify your own personal deal breakers and traps. Reflect on your previous relationship. What did you allow to go on for too long? What did you let slide too much? And then ask yourself, am I still vulnerable to this? Could I allow this to happen in a future relationship? And if you think it might, write it down. Okay, so let me give you an example of a trap for me. My greatest weakness has always been wanting to help someone because I see their potential. Right? I don't know. I guess I think I was born superwoman and that I can fix anybody. But we all know that you can't fix somebody who doesn't want to be fixed. So if you're anything like me and you're just motivated by, helping people become the best that they can be, let me remind you that you shouldn't be putting all of your time and energy into pushing someone if they don't have their own plan or their own goals for their life. It is not your responsibility to make something out of someone else's life. Okay, now the next step is just being present. You have to be tuned in. You have to listen to what and how your partner or your date is saying things. Be able to observe their behavior on the first and subsequent dates and interactions. And make sure that if you're noticing any bizarre behavior or patterns in the behavior, that you make a mental note of that. If something comes up or something is said that just makes you cringe or makes you feel uneasy or uncertain or unsure, don't ignore that. You're feeling what you're feeling for a reason. Finally, you have to make sure that you're checking yourself. When you're getting to know someone and you discover that you really like them or you've been involved with a person for a really long time, it can be difficult to see straight, okay? And so you have to refer to your red flag checklist and make sure that you're not seeing any of these patterns in their behavior. And if this is something that you really struggle with, I encourage you to link with someone that can help hold you accountable and be objective like a relationship coach. This is one of those topics that I could talk about for days at a time. But I want to hear from you all. Please leave in the comments a red flag that you ignored and what the outcome of the situation was. If there's someone who needs to hear this video, please be sure to share it with them. Thank you all so much for watching.